Hey, welcome back to Ghouls Garage. Today we're working on a new project. Happens to be a 1941 Chevy. The project happens to be a power disc brake conversion kit. We'll walk around and show you the car. You see someone's already upgraded it with a Chevy 350. Has electronic distributor in there, Holley 4-barrel. Starts and runs fantastic. This car happens to belong to my sister. She's loved cruising this car all summer, but she wasn't happy with the brakes. She said it was a little hard stopping, and that's because it had a drum brake all the way around. So I suggested let's go ahead and get it in here this winter and do a disc brake conversion for her. That way she'll be able to stop a lot easier. Inside, someone's already went through and did the interior. We hope to be adding a new carpet in it, cleaning it up for her. My nephew actually helped us out and welded up the pedal assembly below. In the back they have the fuel tank. We can open up and show you. A little bit of fun work going on there. They're actually installing a backup camera. That's why all this assembly's off. That's why some of this is sitting here. We hope to get our bead roller out and do a trunk for her. Someone had put a plywood trunk base in there. I think we can do better than that for her. She has a Corvette hood strut to hold the trunk up. Up front, we've already started working. We've got the old spindles off and drums off. We've already mocked up our booster. That went right into place. We're real happy with that. We had a couple holes to drill. We'll have to adjust the proportioning valve. And then down here you can see it's real easy to just take the whole hub assembly right off. And it has the spindle, the brake line. You have an upper and lower ball joint to knock out. And then you have your steering linkage. It goes right through. Real easy. Remove it as one piece. No sense wasting time taking all that apart, because the new kit came with a new spindle. Now this car we had to research because someone else had worked on it. We had to find out what frame and brake setup was on it. Through a little bit of navigation and online and research, we found out it happened to be from a 64 Chevy. From there we were able to order a full front disc brake conversion set for it. Knowing that information really helped. When we start building these cars or fixing them, we always keep a file for the client or for ourselves so they know what parts we use. So if they have to order anything again, you just go to that file and you know. Okay, we have the upper part of the spindle mounted. We'll start mounting the bottom. Then we'll have our dust plate and our caliper bracket put on. From there, we'll go ahead and mock up the brake rotor and the caliper. Set the lines. We'll get everything all pre-mocked up first every time, just to make sure the parts are correct, they fit well. Any modifications need done, we do it then. Takes a little more time to do it that way, but in the long run, you know, especially for a brake job, you're safer because everything's correct. All right, we've got the spindle on the ball joints now. The Carter keys are in. We're gonna take a break from putting the dust shields on. Show you what Ethan's up to. What's going on, Ethan?
Just packing these bearings. Show you how to pack them real quick. So you want to grab some grease here from your bucket and put it on the palm of your hand, and you want to work it inside this edge here. See where there's a little bit of grease in there already? Just work it through, and you can see it starting to come through on the other side. You want to do that through the whole bearing. Okay, so this one's done. I'm going to take it over to the hubs over here. You want the big ones, and you want them to face down, just like that. Take this other one right here, put in the other one as well. Now, you want to put your seal this side facing out. You're going to take your hammer and just gently work it around that hub. Yep, bottoms up. Okay, so you want to tap the seal in the same way too as you did that side. Okay, now that you got your both seals in and both your rear bearings, now we're going to go take it over to the 41 Chevy and finish installing them.
We're back over on the other side of the garage now, working on the 41 Chevy. Ethan just finished up packing the bearings for us, put in the seals. It looks fantastic, ready to go for the next steps. So we're gonna get started. We'll be adding the dust shield. Here's a paper washer, dust shield, your caliper bracket. This happens to have the letter L for driver's side or left. So that took a lot of guesswork out of it. Bolt right up here. See the dust shield's lining up well with the spindle and the holes in that. We'll then take this steering tie rod and stabilizer bar that's on the back side of the spindle and the dust shield and thread or bolt through all three pieces. We'll work on lining that up. We'll do that with the other one. I have a couple of nuts on them. From there we'll take our 3/4 inch wrench and socket. And we'll just snug everything in place first. That way nothing's on a bind. And we know everything fits right. We just pre-tightened everything. Everything's to be in alignment really good. We like that. We went back, we went ahead and gave them a good tighten down now. So now we're ready for the hub assembly. Just slip right on there. Then we'll have the other bearing all inside. Have your washer slide inside the groove there. We'll put that castle nut in. This is pretty typical if you watch some of our other videos that we've done with brake jobs. A lot of them are the same setup, but we're happy to walk you through it again in case you haven't seen those videos. Maybe if we've missed something, you might want to go back through and look at some of our other videos. For a hub, usually tighten it up pretty good, and then you back it off about 1/4. It seems to be about the good practice. That way you don't get any drag. All right, the hub's all on. We got it all tightened up now. We're getting ready to do the caliper. Really nice caliper setup, 1 piston setup. Pads are already in with the kit. And the bolts right here. Goes on real easy. Take that bolt to the front, line it up, do the same with the bottom one, and from there we'll go ahead and tighten those up. Once they're brought in all the way, we'll start mocking up for a brake line. That'll start going on next. All right, we got the caliper all in place, tightened up. We went ahead and tightened up that spindle nut and adjusted it. Next we'll be putting the dust cap on. Tap that on with a hammer. Just finished putting on the brake hose on this side. We checked it for fit. Looks great. Looks like it's going to fit up here in the bracket right here if you want to take a look. We're going to do new lines, but then there'll be a clip that goes here, and then the new line set will screw into that. The same on the other side. What the hose consists of, this happens to be the other side, but I brought it over here to show you. You have a washer there, a washer there, for a brass washer. Then it'll go up and behind the caliper and tighten down. You want to make sure to turn the wheel left and right. Make sure the hose is completely out of the way, that it's not going to be binding or hitting on any of the steering linkages or even the spring in behind. And then from there we can start running our brake lines left and right up towards the master cylinder. We just finished up the brake lines. I want to remind our viewers that this was a 64 Chevy frame. The body happens to be a 41 Chevy, so there were some modifications of the brake lines that needed done. I wrapped that up last night. We have the proportioning valve set in place. The new lines have been run. The rear brake line for Chevy setup goes to the back of the proportion valve. Then you have your right front line to the bottom here and your left front line to the top. After that, from the top of the portioning valve, you'll run master cylinder here and the rear of the master cylinder here. So you can see that as it comes up, front to front, rear to rear. The rear happens to be a larger line running back to drum brakes. We continued that size out. The next thing we're going to work on is a vacuum hose. It's already been plumbed from the previous owner. We're going to follow a 3/8 line from here up to the booster here. Put some clamps on it. That'll all be mocked up. From there, we're going to work inside the car, start adjusting the pedal to the proportioning valve. Then we'll be ready to bleed it and take it for a test drive. All right, we just finished up the disc brake conversion on this 41 Chevy. You can see the master cylinder's now in place. We did have one problem with it. We did have a leak back here. The seal was bad, so we had to replace the master cylinder. We also decided to opt for a proportioning valve in the back. Right down here. The brakes are stopping really good now. We last left off with doing the pedal conversion underneath. Real happy how it turned out. That'll be it for now. Thanks for watching Ghouls Garage.